Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be chatting through all of the books that I have hauled in 2021 and seeing how many of them I have read or not read, and seeing what the percentage is of what I have hauled and what I am actually reading, whether I'm reading the books that I am buying. Okay, so I'm going to go through by month. I've split all the books out by the month that they were brought into the household. And then I will go through, and then at the end of the video, because I haven't counted them all, I will count up the exact number of books that there is here and the exact number that is read and unread. So we will see at the end how I've done. To bear in mind this, I'm just doing January through to November because it'd be quite hard for me to read the books. I haven't given myself a chance to read the books that I have bought in December, and I actually haven't bought any books in December as of yet, but I have been gifted a few which are Christmassy type books, so I'm just not counting those. Like the December gifts, they do not count. They don't count. Well, I mean, they do count, but they're not counting to this, okay? This is just January through to November because those are the ones where I've had the chance to actually read them. It makes sense in my head, okay? In the month of January, I hauled 8 books, which were A Time of Blood and A Time of Courage, both by John Gwynne, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, City of Stairs, City of Blades and City of Miracles, along with Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin and A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kemmerer. Of those books, I have read all 8 of them. I read them all. So very impressive start. I don't think we're starting how we mean to go on, but very impressive start. 8 books hauled, 8 books read. So very positive. And 2 of those books have been unhauled, Sea of Ruin and A Vow So Bold and Deadly. So that is 6 books that have remained in the household. In the month of February, I hauled 5 books: A Court of Silver Flames, The Bridge Kingdom, The Mask of Mirrors, Winter's Orbit and Archive of the Forgotten. Out of these, once again, I have read all 5 of those books. So, doing very well again. So I read everything that I hauled in the month of February, and I even unhauled the Archive of the Forgotten. March was a bit of a bigger book haul and the start of where things aren't going so well for my which ones I've read. So in the month of March, I hauled 15 books. Out of those, I have read The Traitor Queen, Graceling, Fire, Bitter Blue. I also hauled some of the Chronicles of Ixia. I haven't brought it down. They are up there. So the Chronicles of Ixia, I got a box set of them all, and Stormglass. Those have all been read. So I've just put them all in that. I didn't want to bring them all down, but all of those were hauled and they have all been read. And then for the ones that I hauled and haven't read from the month of March, I haven't read All Systems Read by Martha Wells, Lancelot by Giles Christian, Vicious by V. Schwab, The Punch Escrow by Tel M. Clean, Daughter of the Blood by Anne Bishop, Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth, or Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. So that's 7 books from March out of the 15 that I have not read. Moving into the month of April and back to some positivity because I have read these books, I hauled 4 books and I have read 3 of them. So I hauled The Forgetting Moon by Brian Lee Durfee, Wild with Dancing by Juliette Marillier, The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Those 3 have all been read, and then the one that I haven't read is The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. Moving into the month of May, I hauled 7 books, and of these I have read 4 of them, leaving 3 unread. So a pretty even bag. So I read Spyglass, one of the books in the Chronicles of Ixia. I read The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, and The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. And then of the 3 that I haven't read, that is The Stone Knife by Anna Stevens, Sister Song by Lucy Holland, and The Helm of Midnight by Marina Lostetta. June has a very small book haul of Sea Glass, one of the Ixia books again, and For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, and that is everything that I hauled in June. So no, I was very well behaved that month, and I have not read this. Now July. July was my birthday month, so I was very lucky to receive quite a few gifts. So there's a very, very large number of books that were hauled in the month of July, and I haven't read the majority of them. In the month of July, I hauled 32 books, and of those 32, I have read 3. So I have read Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I have read The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake, and I have read Jade War by Fonda Lee. So I have a lot of books from July that I have not read, that I definitely do plan to read, but I just haven't got to them just yet. So 3 add to the read pile. And then of the ones that I have not read, this is going to be a big job, I have not read A Fate of Wrath and Flame by K.A. Tucker, A Promise of Fire by Amanda Boucher, Trail of Lightning and Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman, A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn, Empire in Black and Gold by Adrian Tchaikovsky, Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger, The Warlord Chronicles by Bernard Cornwell. Oh, no. There it goes. The Leaning Tower of Books. Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. Wild Seed by Octavia E. Butler. The YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves. Dragon Mage by M.L. Spencer. Upon a Burning Throne by Ashok K. Banker. Middle Game by Shauna Maguire. Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. Furyborn by Claire Legrand. The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. Dreamer's Pool by Juliette Marillier. Song of Blood and Stone by Elle Penelope. The Lost Queen by Sidney Pike. The First Law Trilogy box set, which is composed of The Blade itself, The Last Argument of Kings and Before They Are Hanged by Jo Abercrombie, and Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Dooley. So those are all of the books that I was lovingly gifted in the month of July, and don't worry, I definitely do plan to get to them all, just not done it yet. But that is my very, very large July book haul, birthday book haul, so that definitely has impacted the number that was hauled and remains unread. Moving on from July, moving on from that, August I hauled 6 books, and of them I have read 1. I have read The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid. The other 5 remain unread. Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. The Black Coast by Mike Brooks. The Emperor's Blade by Brian Staveley. And Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. September. Okay, we're back to Abby accomplishing things with the September book haul. So in the month of September, I hauled 5 books, and I read all 5, and these are all very chunky books. Well, apart from one. So I hauled Stories of Your Life and Others by Ted Chiang, and I read it. Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. It's been read. The Blackest Heart by Brian Lee Durfee. Read. Heart of Flames and Wings of Shadow by Nikki Palpretto. Read. In the month of October, I hauled 13 books. It was the month that there were all the bargains, because I went to the bargain bookshop with Sophia and I found some deals in charity shops, and Amazon did a 3 for £5 deal. It was a very dangerous month for the deals, but anyway, I hauled 13 books and I have read 4 of them. So I read American Gods by Neil Gaiman, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, The Spanish Love Deception by Eleanor Armas, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, and that's a lie, I read a 5th book. I read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, which I have since unhauled. So 5 of those 13 books I have read. I haven't read 7 Devils by, oh my god, did you want to go first? I haven't read 7 Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lamb, Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, The Ghost Bride by Yang Si Chu, Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler, Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez, Raybearer by Georgina Fueco, The Switch by Beth O'Leary, or Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. In November, I hauled 8 books and I have read 5 of them, leaving 3 unread, which is pretty good seeing as November has only just happened. So I read Little Thieves by Margaret Owen, The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik, Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee, Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar, and The Fall of Babel by Josiah Bancroft. What I haven't read yet is The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey, The Shadow in the Glass by Gia Harwood, and Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson. Those are all of the books that I have hauled and going through which ones I've read and which ones I haven't read. I now have 2 quite sizable piles next to me. One is read, one is unread. And now I'm going to count up exactly how many were read and unread. And we will come back once that's all been done. It's been a little while because that was a lot of counting, and then I had to like recount it, and the numbers kept not adding up. And I was like, how is it so hard to count books? Like, how is it getting so hard? What's going on here? I think it gets a little bit confused because like there are some books that I have unhauled since hauling them, so some of the numbers I just kept getting confused because the numbers didn't add up. But I finally got the numbers to add up, and in total I have hauled 108 books in the past year. So that is a lot of books. That is a lot of books, and that's not counting December. So that's 108. 108. That's over 100. So that is quite a lot of books. That is more than I have read in this past year in total. But out of these, I have read 50 of the books that I have hauled in the past year, leaving 58 unread. So pretty much 50-50, nearly. 50-50 between the books that I have hauled and the books that I've read, which is okay, I think. I think that's okay that I'm reading 50% of what I'm buying, whilst also continuing to read some of the books that I have owned for longer than that. But there is still a lot of unread books, so this makes me realise, like, I already did my physical TBR video, but this again really makes me realise like how many books I own and how many books I can read that are on my shelves. If you saw any of the books that I've moved off onto this side, which is my not read side, and you really want me to read them, then please let me know. Let me know as well if you've done this, if you know exactly how many books you have read out of the books that you have hauled this year. This isn't to shame myself or to shame anyone else. There's nothing wrong in buying books. There's nothing wrong in buying books, reading books, enjoying the process of enjoying books, whether you enjoy buying, reading, collecting, like nothing wrong in any of that. This was just for me. I wanted to see the number. I thought it'd be really interesting to see how out of the books that I have bought this year or that I have hauled, how many of them I've read. It was purely just to see the numbers because I was really interested in it. I wanted to see out of what was coming in, how many of it was being read, how much of it was being read. And I think it will be really interesting to see next year as well and see if I do better than this next year or worse than this. I don't know. Like, I just thought it'd be really an interesting sort of, not experiment, but an interesting thing to look into. So let me know if you've done something similar, or if now you've seen this, you're going to go away and do something similar and see if you can figure out how many books you have read out of the ones that you have hauled. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!